What's up, group? Tony O hanging out with you. So what's on the agenda today? We're going to replace the turn signal that we actually thought was out on the UForce. We're going to replace it on this side with a much better one now that I've opened up the package and look at the old one. So how do we get to this point? First, we want to pop the hood. Once you pop your hood, you're going to have two 10mm bolts here on your plastic. You're going to take those bolts out. Then you're going to have a body clip that's right here on the other side of this. You're going to need to remove it. You're going to have one here and one back there. You're going to remove those, and that'll allow you to take this off. As you're removing the pins to take off the body plastic over here, we're also going to remove the pins that hold that bottom plate on. Once we have all of that removed, everywhere you see one of these silver tabs, that's the screw that holds your headlights in. You'll have to go to this side and screw them out from over here. So that's a recap of where we are right now. Let's get to work and putting in that turn signal. It's really easy. Okay, I thought I would show you this now that I have the old one off of the vehicle and I've put it side by side with the new one here. You'll see that, like I said, this one's a whole lot better made and it's a lot more substantial than what this one was. I was only going to change the one side, but looking at the difference here, I may end up changing both sides. Now, I am slightly worried. It's just a little bit thicker, but I'm slightly worried because this one already fit really tight inside the lens. As you can see, that crinkled up. That's where it used to cut the corner around the outside portion of the light. So that was really, really tight right there. But even if we look over at the control boxes, this is the old one. You'll see the wires are just hanging out of there. Control box is kind of thin. And then on a new one here, you'll see that the wire is reinforced there. Much more substantial box. That one kind of rattles when you shake it. Again, these new ones are the LE or LED tops, DRL, daytime running light, flexible LED lights. These were purchased off Amazon. I think they were either $25, $29. I'll try and throw a link up in the comments down there. I thought this one had broke, but actually we just had a little, I guess, short in the wire, and this light actually still works just fine. So we're basically going to line it up like that or like this. Last time I kind of had this bent around there, but I'm going to put it right up on top this time. We're going to run this around. Here's this corner that I'm worried about with this thickness on this, how this is actually going to fit and how noticeable this will be. That's our cut point right there. So we would still have to kind of wrap that around or do something with it. So, because we tentatively do not want to have to do the other side today, me and my son plan on hitting the trails today, so we don't want to have to do that other side if we don't have to. But we want it to match up, right? And last time I had to shove that up in there, and that's how we ended up tearing up these heads. But this time I guess we'll just crunch it in. Like I said, this one's a lot more substantial. But look at that. That's kind of ugly. That's ugly. Guy like me, that totally bothers me. The question is, are we going to be able to get this back inside of there? Let's go find out. Okay, so far so good. That's looking really good. We've got the first screw in here. We're going to put in these other two. Okay, so there she is all put in. I'm gonna tell you, the double-sided sticky tape on this just doesn't seem to stick as well as it did on the first brand that I got. As you can see, it's kind of raising up there and there. But other than that, looks pretty good. Glad I did it that way. Like I said, last time I had to push these parts in, which totally destroyed them. But by taking the whole headlight out, we were able to just press them in. Now, I'm not really that worried about the tape, because once we get the plastic and stuff back on, believe me, this is not going anywhere. So next up, we'll wire it in and we're good to go. Okay, so we've got everything all wired back up. Again, the yellow wire coming from the sequential LED turn signal is going into the orange wire that's coming from the UForce on the driver's side. This time I used these old butt connectors. Don't talk about me. Do yours better, okay? And then that splice in right there to hook in the black ground wire into my green ground coming from the factory wiring. So next thing we got to do is just plug the headlight back in. We'll get everything taped up real good. We've already got this zip tied up the way we have it. I'll zip tie it over here again to make it nice and neat. I like everything still looking like it's factory. So we'll start back here where the factory wiring loom is. We'll get all this taped up going into the bracket, and then we'll tape this turn signal wire here together. That way, if we have another problem, we should be able to just unplug this, get us another turn signal light, plug it back in, keep it really, really simple. So we'll get everything taped up, we'll get it buttoned back together, and we're good to go. Good news is everything goes back together 10 times easier than it came apart. So we'll start by putting on our plastic here. I hate this pen. It is in the most absolutely awkward position. I mean, you got to get it in there. You got to twist it. Like I said, absolutely half the time of doing this job is spent dealing with that. Now we put our bottom cover back on. Remove all our tools, no parts left, very good. And replace the head. All right, and there we go. You can definitely tell the difference in quality. We'll be changing both of these. As you can see, the one we just put in on the driver's side is 10 times brighter than the old one that we have on the passenger side. It just looks way better. Way better. We still have that fast blink even with this. I started to put some load equalizers on there, but nah. Fast blink is fine. Now you see right or left turn signal, right turn signal, passenger side, let's say it that way. Now you see passenger side, again, it's a lot dimmer than the new one that we put on the driver's side. Everything works just as it would with factory. When you turn on the turn signal, your daytime running light turns off. If you've got the headlights on, the headlights do stay on, and the turn signal works. But I definitely like the new one a whole lot better than the old one. We'll be switching out the other side again on another day. I'll put a link to these turn signals down in the description. Make sure you like, subscribe, and save. Until next time, I am Tony O. Peace.